The following program was recorded at ARC Advisory Group's annual World Industry Forum in Orlando, Florida.
Dan Miller is the Industry Solutions Manager at AT&T. He is extremely knowledgeable in mobility and industrial applications. We love talking with him because he knows about all the new toys that are coming out, the new technologies in mobility. But it isn't just the toys, it's also about the applications. Dan, can you tell us a little bit about what you do for companies and in mobility and in the industrial area?
Absolutely, and thank you, Ralph. I think I have to go up to a higher level within AT&T. Historically, AT&T is well known for the delivery of really tier one global voice and data services. And if you ask most people, they understand that. They know Ma Bell was the phone carrier from really since day one, since we invented the phone. Over the last 20 or 30 years, we've really tried to evolve into more of a solutions provider for our customers, and realized very quickly that customers wanted to be told how they could better utilize their networks to be more productive. Several years ago, AT&T created an organization within the business units group called AT&T Advanced Enterprise Solutions. It's made up of about 1,000 individuals with very deep solution knowledge around some core offerings. One is, you talked about mobility. Another is cloud and application services. We also have practices around unified communications and telepresence, which seem to be very interesting topics right now as companies really try to collaborate more. Another area is managed security services. As networks become more and more spread out, companies are very concerned that they are creating security holes in their organization. And AT&T has spent many years securing our own networks for our customers, and it's a natural evolution for us to bring those security solutions to our customers as something that they can utilize internally to actually have a more robust service delivery platform.
Sounds like a nice combination of skills and products and services.
Absolutely.
Could you talk a little bit more about how that would apply to the supply chain?
Absolutely. So supply chain is a very broad term. It means different things to different people. In some senses, supply chain is the actual action of bringing materials in to help manufacturers make whatever product they're making. So for us, it's understanding what applications they're utilizing, what software, and in many respects, it's actually taking that software and bringing it up into the cloud if it means it's more nimble, more scalable, and allows them to be more dynamic in how they scale up and scale down supply chains, because product sets change, manufacturing lines change, and if your supply chain isn't nimble enough to keep up with your products, you really are at a disadvantage in the marketplace. So we'll allow for, I think, a much more nimble and scalable approach by allowing for cloud services when that's applicable.
Cloud services has come up a lot in this conference. Could you talk a little bit more about how you would help out with supply chain management and cloud?
Yeah, so AT&T has four kind of pillars in our cloud practice. The first one is simply co-location, right? For many years, we've been housing things for companies, and in a lot of cases, that's where we create a cage in one of our 38 global data centers, and they put their servers in there that run their supply chain software. That may be a primary system or a disaster recovery set. The second area is where we actually put an operating system and do virtualization, right? There's a lot of studies that say most corporation servers are underutilized, so there's a nice return on investment if you can put your servers in the cloud and actually share space with either other divisions within your company or in some cases with other companies. The next level is what we call synaptic hosting, where we actually take the application itself and put it in the cloud. So instead of buying corporate licenses for these supply chain solutions, you're actually just buying time on the server, software as a service, which seems to be, kind of goes hand in hand with that cloud discussion, because if the market changes and you need to scale up or scale down, to have the flexibility to do that in a software as a service architecture is much more financially feasible than buying a lot of software licenses or big software platforms and then needing to depreciate them very quickly because the market changes on you.
A complete solution involves hardware, software, implementation services, and I know AT&T partners sometimes with those components to provide a complete solution to end customers. Can you talk about how you partner, particularly in the area of supply chain?
Yeah, so I'll kind of break this one into two pieces. One is obviously on the application itself, where if companies want AT&T to host supply chain services and software, most of that is actually done internally through AT&T. About 4.5 years ago, we bought a company called US Internetworking, USI, and they were a well-known commodity in the hosted solutions marketplace. Brought them underneath AT&T, and we've actually cocooned, if you will, our managed services around that. So everything that you would need from the consulting aspect of it to the implementation to the training, AT&T can provide for that software application in the cloud. When you think about supply chain and some of the tools you use, an example, mobility solutions to actually interface with the supply chain out in the field, we actually do partner a lot with that. We have device partners because obviously, as we talked about last year, AT&T doesn't manufacture things anymore. We have software partners. The mobility environment's a very fast-changing environment, and AT&T understands that to be nimble, you have to have few fetters on how you innovate. And so partnering with smaller companies allows for that innovation cycle to maintain fast acceleration. And then, you talk about lifecycle services. As you deploy these solutions from a hardware and software standpoint in the field, you have to be able to support them and make changes as necessary and allow for, fixing broken devices in the field. So we actually provide supply chain services around the lifecycle aspect of the devices. We do that under an AT&T umbrella. And the reason we do that is because companies continually came to us and said, it's too hard to deploy these solutions. There's too many players in the game, there's too many components to it, and we want to simplify the process of going to one vendor who can bring it underneath a large umbrella type of engagement and provide these different aspects of the solution. It makes it much easier for them to buy it, it makes it much easier for them to support it, and because we have the scale and the brand, we have a much better ability to deliver it within the AT&T mindset of this is a sustainable solution.
Fascinating information. Dan, thank you very much for talking with us.
You're welcome, Ralph.
We've been talking with Dan Miller, Solutions Director at AT&T. Thank you for watching.